President of Queens Library, Dennis Walcott. Yay! And we are clear. What are we here for? We are calling for a restoration of $58.3 million in funding cuts from our city budget that our library so desperately need. What do we say? No cuts to libraries. And together, we are standing here together with one clear message. Library matters. They're important to our community, and we must restore these funding to ensure that they continue to help every single New Yorker. These recent budget cuts have eliminated the 7-day critical service across branches and have severely reduced access to critical service. So the library right here, Flushing Queens Library, it used to have 7-day services, and now we do not. So what are we saying? No cuts to library! And when I first took office, this library was closed. And because I heard from so many of you, and I want to thank the president of the Queens Library, we worked together to make sure this library was open again to everybody. And I grew up in this community. As someone who came here not knowing a word of English, library was the first place I went to borrow the books so I could learn the language. And as I grew up, it's where I went to after school to get the resources I need. And right now, this library, beyond all this, is where immigrants come to access the resources that they need. Library is a trusted place. It's a place where people speak multiple languages here, especially in a community like this. It's where so many groups host events for our community. So today, we're going to support, what are we saying again? No cuts to library. So right now, I want to invite our council member Lee to come up and say a few words.
Still morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
There's no better reason that I'd be missing church this morning other than to be here to make sure that we are fighting for our library. So let's just say on 3, no more cuts, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. No more cuts! No more cuts! No more cuts! No more cuts! I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I want to give a special shout out to Dennis Walcott over here, who's been a huge supporter and champion for our libraries, and also to our colleagues, Councilmember Tiffany Caban, as well as Councilmember Ong, whose district we are in. And I just want to say, when I was working in the nonprofit sector at KCS, we came here and did so much of our programming at Flushing Library because it's not just a library, it's not just a place where we come to read and get books. There's ESL classes, there's social services, there's other nonprofits that use this space. And on a day like today, our libraries provide essential cooling centers for a lot of our seniors, and it's a place where they can actually come, seek refuge, and look around. If you do a 360 panorama of where we're at, we are in one of the largest immigrant hubs in the city. There is so many different languages spoken, so many different needs of our AAPI and further communities that are out here. So we need to make sure that the cuts are restored and that the devastating cuts do not impact our crucial and essential services that are happening out here today. So I thank all of you back here for standing with us for No More Cuts, because these programs are for you, they are for the community, and we need to make sure that we continue fighting until that very last minute before we do the handshake and before we vote on this budget. We need to make sure that these services do not get cut. So again, 1, 2, 3, on 3 we say no more cuts. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No more cuts! No more cuts! No more cuts! And with that, I have the privilege of introducing our amazing council member, Tiffany Caban.
Oh, sure. Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Councilmember Tiffany Caban, and I love the library. I love the library because, for me, like many other folks, it kept me safe and healthy as a young child. My home branch now is the Astoria branch, but my home branch when I was a little girl was the Richmond Hill branch. And I still remember getting my first library card. And in a community where it was largely lower income immigrant communities, where my family was certainly struggling with a lot of different things, from economic insecurity to substance use to mental health issues, the library was a lifeline, and I'm not alone in that. I understand what libraries mean to others because I wouldn't be here without the public library. And so when we're talking about what's at stake here, and it's only a little bit over $50 million out of an over $100 billion budget, this is a drop in the bucket budget-wise for a service that literally saves lives. So we're here to call to make sure that we have available 7-day service, that our libraries are open. So when I say, what do we want? You say open libraries. What do we want?
Open libraries.
What do we want?
Open libraries.
What do we want?
Open libraries.
Because open libraries means access to knowledge. Open libraries means joy and exploration and creativity. Open libraries means safety, whether it's safety from your home or dynamics, whether it is safety from the extreme heat, whether it's safety from the cold, whether it's the safety of being able to have language access, whether it's the safety to build skills that you then take out into the community so you can support your families. Libraries, it's not an exaggeration, save lives. They make us safer and healthier. So what do we want? And when do we want them? Now. Thank you.
Thank you. No. Okay. Thank you very much. First to the Speaker, to the Chair of our Libraries Committee, and to our host for today, Councilmember Ung and Council Members Lee and Caban. I want to just say a big thank you for your leadership, your advocacy, your support of our libraries. My name is Dennis Walcott. I have the honor to being part of this great library team here, Yang and the entire team here at Flushing, who deserve a big round of applause. And Councilmember Caban said it all as far as what we do for the community. We are here for the community, to serve the community in so many ways. We provide that safe environment. We provide that nurturing environment. We provide that cool environment. We provide the safety for our children. We provide the opportunity for people to get better, to learn new skills, to learn new languages, to participate in the American dream. We are the most trusted institution in the world, the most trusted institution in the world. And as a result of that, we take that seriously. We are here for the public. If we were open today, this great library would have 3,000 people come through the doors right away to get our services. Think about that. That's how trusted the Queens Public Library, the New York Public Library, and the Brooklyn Public Library systems are. We are here to serve the people of New York City and beyond. It is unacceptable for us to have budget cuts. It is unacceptable for us to be in this discussion at all. Our budget should be fully restored. The $58.3 million needs to go back to our libraries so we can do our job. We should not be up here begging and asking for money that is rightfully for the people of this community, the people of this city. These dollars benefit the residents of New York and beyond. So I want to thank the leadership of the City Council for your support, your ongoing advocacy, because what you are doing is tremendous for our libraries, and we truly appreciate it. So, follow me. No cuts to libraries. 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 Because libraries are here for everyone. Libraries are here for everyone. We speak your language. We are here for all the populations of New York City because we're trusted, plus we do a great job. So, Councilmember Ung, thank you for hosting us today. To the Speaker, to the chairs of the committee, to all of our council members who are here today and others, we appreciate your support and we say a big thank you. Councilmember Ung, it's all yours. You know what? Even better. Hold on. We do it this way. Yang, why don't you come to the microphone and introduce our speaker? Because it's a direct connection to Flushing, and I'm always respectful of Flushing and Yang.
Thank you, Mr. Walcott. Hi, good morning. I'm Yang Zhang, Director, Queens Public Library at Flushing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for standing up for the library. And thank you so much to the City Council members for advocating for the library. In Flushing Library, I witness how vital the library is to the community. The library is a vital hub to our community. Every day, thousands of people coming to our door to use our service in the library. For example, just one day, April 29 this year, we had 4,881 people came in to visit our library in one day. 4,881 people. The library is not just a place with books. The library is also a safe and welcoming place for our children to learn and study, and for the people in the community to get information, to access to resource, to attend programs. To our immigrant community, the immigrants use the library as the first gateway to integrate into the new society. They use the library to learn English, to get information for service. So if the budget cut happen, that means the thousands of people who come into the library every day will have no place to go. That means we will have fewer hours of service on top of Sunday service is no longer available. That means we will have fewer books on shelf, fewer program, and less resource that so many people depend on. We can't let that happen. That's why we're standing here and make it clear. You're going to follow me. No more cuts. 3 times. No more cuts. No more cuts. No more cuts. We need our library. 3 times. We need our library. We need our library. We need our library. We need our library. Thank you. So now I would like to introduce Jennifer Troy. Jennifer is a resident in Flushing. She grew up in Flushing. She is our long-time library user. Growing up in Flushing, her family faced the same challenge many immigrant families face. Balance with putting food on the table and the need for education until one day they discover books are free in the library. Jennifer will share her experience. Please welcome Jennifer Troy.
Oh, hello? Hello? Hi, I'm Jennifer Troy, and my local library is Flushing Library. Library is... Oh, that's much for that. Thank you. Hi, I'm Jennifer Troy. My local library is Flushing Library. This library is special to me due to the amazing immigrant population it serves. But in the hub of immigrant life, who can afford a book when their number of mouths to feed keeps growing? That is, what should take priority, food or education? Some people complain that immigrants don't appreciate what they have. But what do we have? We have young, hungry, voracious mouths begging for more books. Some don't appreciate all that our libraries provide, but I have volunteered for the libraries, so let me give you a glimpse of what we provide for children. Many parents can't afford daycare or after-school programs, especially during the summer. Children would have to sit like ducks for hours every day until their parents arrived. So imagine the smile on that pre-kindergartner's face with whom I read Fancy Nancy because she couldn't read yet. The pure excitement of the boy who achieved 100% on his fractions homework. The library also planned different programs every day for these kids, never once the same program. There are so many other ways in which libraries are important. It is home to teens curled up with the latest trending fantasy novel in the corner like me until I was 19. I was introduced to Emile Zola, Zora Neale Hurston, and Margaret Atwood by librarians who share their love of literature with me. Then it would house the 13 or so books on chocolate for my very well-sided paper. It was a haven from the cold and heat when we couldn't afford gas and electricity. There were no judgments when I borrowed every single test prep book for the Regents a month before anyone else started prepping. The diversity that libraries have opened for us is simply astounding. As new immigrants, my parents set the table every night for my siblings and me, but they rarely set the table for themselves in order to save every penny towards our education. I'd watch my father eat a can of beans for the day until we discovered that books were free to borrow from the library. And when you're that hungry, you down every book that comes your way. We would come straight after school, and before the library closed, we'd check out 50 books, that's 50, and return them daily. Looking back, we didn't need to sacrifice for books, thanks to the books we share as a community. But that's not the whole story. Libraries build character, they build hope, and they build minds. In the upcoming generations, we're going to need a lot more of that. So invest in our libraries as they invest in us. Please restore our funding because we are the people libraries build, and we want to build our libraries. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Yi Ping, who's the president of AAC as a community leader in Flushing, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you so much, Councilor Sandra, right? And Councilor Linda, we are AAC server to the community. It's so sad that we hear about it, that the library going to cut hours, whatever the budget. So a lot of Chinese community, our people, new immigrants, everybody else depend on this library for studying, for rest, for all the things. So the city government's not supposed to cut the budget there. That's not right. So we strongly supported Sandra and our community leader to keep our library running better in the future. I'm going to say, no more cut.
No more cuts.
No more cut. No more cut. Thank you all.
Okay. Now that I know, I think I know the truth.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you for everyone coming. I also like to recognize that we have a representative from Councilmember Jim Gennaro's office, also a representative from Councilmember Shekar Krishnan's office. I want to assure all of you, as we go forward the budget process this week, your city council members will be fighting to make sure it happens. No more cuts. No more cuts. No more cuts. No more cuts. Thank you all for coming today. Oh, maybe we could pull the podium. We'll move the podium. Yeah, move the podium. There, that's what I forgot.
Thank you.